I'm a little bit late because I was doing video stuff and it always takes longer than I think. But anyway, I'm here. What is it? It's Thursday. It's Thursday. I'm on top of it. I was making a video for this. This is a milk clarified Singapore sling of a version. And I just gave it to Mrs. Angry. It used to be basically opaque. It was very dark brown, a little bit cloudy, and it's very pretty now. Although in terms of saying they always look like urine samples, this person's got a bit of blood in their urine. They need to go and see a urologist. So it's nice and clear, but not good. And hello, Megalich and Greg. So now I might pull myself. Actually, I should put a couple of things away because I moved a bunch of stuff to make that video, and I need to move it all back to its proper home. So we've got the benedictine down there. The gin belongs behind here. Try not to knock over that tripod. I just clipped it with my heel. Yeah, a nasty circumstance if I did. And put these whiskies back where they belong. Isn't this a neat bottle? Oh, you can't even see. Besides being an unusual shaped bottle, that's like a normal shaped bottle. That's weird. They've got this whole Old West thing going. This whiskey is made in Utah, I think. A Western state, anyway. I think it's Utah. And they've got this whole Old West thing going on. And so they've either used an old bottle making method or they've faked it because the glass is sort of really thick and uneven and rippling. It's quite neat. All right, all the whiskies back on the whiskey trolley. It's like toot toot, all aboard the whiskey trolley. All right, come on, you can stay on there, whiskies, don't fall off. Okay, so that's clear. My new shirt, another one of my new shirts. This one's very tropical, which suits a Singapore thing. Now I think I'll get a glass. Deep sigh. What else do I want to do? I know I might even garnish my drink as I make it. That involves coming around here, getting a skewer, and an orange. Just going the whole way. I'm going to garnish my drink for a treat. Okay. This doesn't even really need ice because I've been chilling the drink. Ooh, a little bit of squeaky ASMR from the bottle. Probably a decent amount. Probably should have measured it. This is comparatively low alcohol volume. It's not like it's an old-fashioned or something. I don't know. It's probably about 2 standard drinks what I just poured myself, which is not super low, but squeeze the orange oils on my drink because that's the way. I like it. And gonna put a cherry in my drink. Doesn't really need a cherry, but I just like these cherries. Man, I have to get a new jar. I don't want it to run out. Okay, in you go, cherry. And if you stir, because they dropped some cherry juice in it, so I might as well blend that in. All right, cheers, y'all. So that's got a gin, 3 liqueurs, and 3 fruit juices in it. And the clarification process just kind of blends and smooths the flavors in there, and it becomes a whole different thing. Tastes very different to an unclarified version of the same ingredients. It's really interesting. I mean, you can taste there's alcohol in it. It has an almost wine-like taste. And then you can taste the fruit juices as well. And it's really nice on the back palate, as they say, very late as the taste flavors go through. A little bit of the acidity. Like it's got pineapple juice, orange juice, and lime juice in there. And it's like the last taste in your mouth is that sort of you get from lime juice, which is quite nice. And it's quite sweet. There's no sugar syrup in it as such, but there's of course sugar in all the liqueurs, and there's sugar in the fruit juices. So it doesn't really need any syrup in it. It definitely doesn't need, it'd be too sweet if it had syrup in it as well. And it's just very tasty. I've got a lot of pre-made drinks at the moment. And I was planning on making more, so I should finish 1 or 2 of them, maybe. Don't think I want any more of that tonight. I mean, it's really yummy, but I just want to mix up the drinks. I found this in the supermarket, in the cooking section. It's coconut syrup, and I thought, coconut syrup, that would probably be good for a cocktail. I thought, and it's incredibly thick, and it's really strongly flavored. So there's some in a container in the fridge. I diluted it a little with water. It's like 2 parts this syrup, 1 part water. And I'm going to try that in a cocktail, maybe tonight. Maybe. The other thing I have to try is I made super juice. Yes, super juice. I made with some yuzu juice that young Mr. Angry bought, which was very expensive. So I thought we might be able to extend it if I make super juice with it. And basically how you make super juice is citrus fruit peel and citric acid, and sometimes malic acid, depending what you're doing. And then you blend that, like blend the peel after the acid has sort of extracted all the oils out of the peel. You blend that with water and juice, and then strain that, and that's super juice. It has a really bright flavor that stays. Okay, here's a thing that I'm not completely on board with, but you get these people who are obsessed with when you juice citrus, it loses its brightness after only hours, like the next day it's no good. I don't agree. I really think with a lot of people, that's the power of suggestion, and they're talking crap. But there's no denying super juice stays brighter for longer than fruit juice. Also, it's more stable. It's not going to go off as, like, literally not going to grow fungus, because juice with no preservatives in it will grow fungus after a while, and super juice, because with the extra acidity, won't, at least not for longer. And also you end up with a much bigger volume. So this yuzu juice was really expensive, and so I've extended it. But I'm going to do, I actually might do a direct taste comparison just of the actual juices. When young Mr. Hungry is back on this weekend, I might make a daiquiri with them and compare that. Hey, Justin, how are you today? Hope you're keeping well. So I might just taste those, because I haven't, because it's, okay, yuzu juice is quite strong. It's kind of somewhere between a lime and a mandarin, but it's its own thing. It's a tart citrus. I think it's native to Japan. It is grown around the world now, and I think chefs love it, just because it has this unique flavor. It's like it's a recognizable citrus flavor, but it's unique as well. So that's a whole thing. And I haven't tasted, so I might just do a brief taste test side by side when I finish this. And then I might make a drunk using the coconut syrup. So that's probably going to be a rum drink, quite honestly. I just thought of something. Okay, so I'm gonna look up. Wait, what was that? Let me see. Okay, all right. Okay, so I'm going to do cocktail finder on Diffords. Actually, I'll just go. It's going to have 20 best rum cocktails here somewhere. Apricot, Curacao, Bourbon, Benedictine, Calvados, Champagne, Chartreuse. Oh, I think this is alphabetical. Oh wow, that took me longer than it should have to pick up on that these are alphabetical. So after rum, I could just scroll through. PPS. Why is there not one for? Okay, now I'm thrown. Scotch whiskey, peach lips, pineapple, pisco, prosecco, sake, overproof white rum. Why overproof white rum? Montenegro, mezcal, marmalade, maraschino, maple, limoncello, italicus, Irish whiskey, honey, cremonier, ginger, gin, falernum, elderflower, China, creme de banane, cranberry, cognac, coffee, cherry, chartreuse, Benedictine Cachaça counts. This is ridiculous. Why doesn't he just have one for rum? You know, I'm going to go for falernum because they'll all be rum. What are you confounding me like that? So, got asked if you want to go on radio to talk about Texas shooting. Ugh, no, Jesus, gross. No, it's fucking wall to wall on the media and social media. Let's not talk about it, aside from acknowledging it's fucked. Right. Falernum cocktail. Brooklyn's finest. Cognac, rye, cardamom, falernum. Well, that's an interesting one. California margarita, chartreuse swizzle, corn and oil. Aged rum, falernum liqueur, Angostura, blackstrap. That's what we want. Maybe Mai Tai, rum, pineapple, orange curacao, lime, orgeat, amaretto, falernum, white creme de menthe, absinthe. Wow, that's a complicated recipe. A Hemingway breakfast. Absinthe, white rum, lime juice, falernum, liqueur, marmalade. Okay, that's actually a pretty funny name for a drink, in all honesty. A Hemingway breakfast. Just a splash of absinthe. All right, so it's like an absinthe rinse. Okay, then white rum, lime juice, falernum, and marmalade, and bitters. So it's like a daiquiri version of a breakfast martini, and we call it a Hemingway breakfast. That's honestly pretty funny. I love that as a name. Jungle Hunt's got Jägermeister and pineapple rum. Nuclear banana daiquiri, Prestige, rum, pineapple, dry vermouth, falernum, lime juice, golden rum, falernum, orange juice, orange curacao, lime juice, Royal Bermuda yacht company, rum, old fashioned. I should just make a rum old fashioned, actually. I'm going to follow this recipe for a rum old fashioned. Not immediately, but soon. Justin, back to Canberra. Canberra with a different vibe on the streets, I'm saying. Alexander, hello, good evening. Yes, I think there's probably a real different feel in I think there's a real different feel everywhere, basically. For me, much better feel. So much happier since Saturday night. I got pretty happy on Saturday night. Well, I haven't got that drunk in ages, and I'll be honest, I wasn't completely cognizant of how drunk I was at the time. But I was pretty goddamn drunk. But didn't fall asleep, didn't throw up, didn't have a hangover. I had a really mild headache the next day. That's not a hangover. Sometimes I just wake up with a headache because of the way I slept. And I was probably a bit tired the next day, although Mrs. Angry said she was feeling tired too, and she put her tiredness down to having been really tense for days, like the week leading up to the election. It was like, okay, it looks like the LNP are going to be out on their ass, but there's this horrible nagging fear that they won't be, and that felt very bad for quite a while. Such a fucking relief. A, the election was over. B, the result was LNP out on their ass, 20 seats down. Fuck yeah. I think they're still counting. Some of the seats are so close, they're still counting. I don't think Labor has a majority yet, although I don't think I've actually checked for a while. Justin, yeah, Harry Potter references, and Peter Dutton thought that was mean. So I'll just call him a racist cunt. Because fuck that guy. Pretending he has feelings. Right. What is this? Archie Rose's. Oh, that's still blasphemy. Sorry, I thought that was a new thing. Which honestly, I know it's quite possible I would like Archie Rose's coffee whiskey, but it's too risky. I don't want to do it because I'm not that big on coffee. Okay, news. Let me see. Election results. Who's saying what? Booth by booth? I really don't want a booth by booth. Okay, so the ABC. I'll go with the ABC. Labor has won 75 seats, needing just one more. 4 are still in doubt. So they need to win 1 out of the 4 for the final thing. Okay. So Liberal Party lost Curtin to a Teal independent. Okay. Deakin, eastern suburbs of Melbourne, held by Michael Sukkar. He was assistant treasurer. He's up against Matt Craig. Postal votes have been favouring Sukkar. He's slightly ahead. Absent votes still to come. Can't call that seat. Gilmore, Andrew Constant's been trying to win the seat. Seat that went against the trend. Only seat gained by Labor. Maybe the only seat gained by the Liberal Party. Andrew Constance has been Minister for Transport. Oh yeah, that's right. Brisbane's still a three-way race. Liberal can't win, but it's out of who has less primary votes between Labor and Greens. Whichever of them has less primary votes will get knocked out and then get the preference, and then they'll win. Port McNamara, Old Port Melbourne, south of the Yarra, running out towards Caulfield. Josh Burns is a Labor member. It's a question of who finishes third. If Harkin finishes third, Burns wins. Burns finishes third, Hodgkin May wins on Labor preferences. Some people are saying Labor will win. A sitting member refuses to say he's won. Greens refuse to claim victory or concede. They can't work out who's winning. No, it's complicated. It's complicated. Just you think people comparing Albanese to Potter is funny. Well, I don't like indulging politicians of any stripe in cuteness. Yeah, Justin, the Libs losing their only ACT Senate seat to an independent, a little unexpected. But the Libs copped a pasting, even if most of, well, I don't even know that it was most, but a lot of the swing went to independents. You know, the Libs lost 20 fucking seats, so maybe 19. Yeah, it's not over yet, so we don't actually know how many they lost. But on top of that, the fact they lose government this time, they go into the next election with, of their meager 50-odd seats, 20 of them being marginal, like 20 of them down to a less than 3% margin. And they lost seats that weren't marginal this time. So they're fucking up against it. I was talking about this with Mrs. Angry, and she put forward the theory, because I was saying making Dutton leader is hilarious because they seem unaware of the degree to which he's electoral poison. I mean, I'm all for it. Make him leader, because that guarantees a major fucking L for the LNP in the next election. But then we're talking about maybe it was deliberate. The moderates are like, no, we're kind of fucked and we're almost definitely losing the next election, and Dutton will be a shithead if he's not made leader. So let him be leader and lose really badly. And Hellion, hello, Kirsten. Yeah, well, the inroads the independents made quite amazing, Justin. ACT's always had one Labor, one Liberal senator. Now it looks like one Labor, one independent. Jesus Christ. This is just so fucking overdue that the Liberals cop this. Because, geez, they've been fucking shit for a long time. They've been really fucking shit. So major fucking relief that they finally bid it on this one. Oh no, Kirsten, the launch got pushed back a week. Oh well, I'll have to be patient because I have in fact bought 2 bottles this week anyway. Never Never releasing an absinthe, so I couldn't resist, and I've ordered that. And there's a new, I think it's a single barrel release from the Gospel, and that should arrive actually probably tomorrow because it's with Sendel and they're really fast. Because I think the Never Never is with Australia Post, so that may take longer. Yes, Kirsten, the Senate independent in ACT is David Pocock, yes. Well, Justin, I agree. There was that whole thing with the right wing in Australia copying the right wing in America, which is gross as fuck. But it took a while for them to pay the price. Oh, that's neat. I didn't know you knew him personally, Kirsten. He's a lovely human. Yeah, I don't think it's settled yet, although it could be, but it's looking like he's going to be a senator for the ACT. And you went to high school with his wife. Neat. So, all right, I'm going to put my clarified cocktail back in the fridge because I want to have something different now. Right. So, all right. I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to follow a rather complex recipe for a rum old-fashioned. Okie dokie, karaoke. So, I am going to get a couple of rums. You bear with me. This one. And this one. 2 rums. This recipe says to use falernum as well. So my falernum should be just down here. That's it, I think. Golden falernum. Let me see. Let's say white overproof rum. No, I'm not using white overproof rum. Falernum and syrup and bitters. All right. Where is my anger? Oh, I saw 2 really, speaking of like I made that milk clarified cocktail, I was just looking up some terminology about milk clarification. And I saw 2 really neat things that I want to try. One of them was milk clarifying Angostura bitters and then using like a shit ton of it in a drink. And I'm like, that sounds interesting. Right, I want a glass. Big old glass for an old-fashioned. Don't know why I occasionally sing the things I'm doing, but you're stuck with me. That's the thing I do. Okay, big old chunk of ice from my big old ice cube tray. I'll put that in there. I'm always slightly paranoid with the big ice cubes. Oh wait, I need my jigger. Where's my jigger at? Slightly paranoid with the big ice cubes. I drop them into my glass. So it will crack my glass. All right. Oh, nice. Kirsten used to volunteer for his rhino charity when in Perth. Nice. Greetings to you, Dr. Abigail. All right. See, I knew nothing about this person. Just me saying the ACT Senator Zed Sesjida, worst type of liberal. All right. Well, the worst type of liberal is pretty fucking bad, in my humble opinion. Right. Rum old-fashioned. Use this one. And kick it up a notch with just a touch of overproof, very overproof rum, 75%. It's almost gone. I'm going to have to buy some more of this. Man's got to have his overproof rum. His industrial strength. Forget Navy strength. This is industrial strength, just a little bit. That pot still rum. And this is the coconut syrup I was talking about. A little bit of that in. It's very dark. Man, that's a taste. That is a real taste, that one. A little bit of falernum. And some bitters. Justin, have been recruiting religious minorities. You mean far-right evangelicals who are not at all representative of the population? And I don't really know what's going to happen in the state election here in Victoria later in the year. But I am looking forward to the Liberal Party shitting the bed because they're fucking useless. All right, put a fresh twist of orange in there. Oh yes, Kirsten, I did see Jimmy Rum had released their Rum, which is fun. For those who don't know, Jimmy Rum is a distillery out on the Mornington Peninsula. A while ago, Mrs. Angry and I had a weekend away out there, and we visited the Jimmy Rum distillery and the Bass and Flinders distillery. They're out there. And James at Jimmy Rum, very nice guy, had a good chat with him. And most of their rums were either imported Jamaican rums they'd done blends of, or local cane spirits that they had distilled, but these spirits didn't meet sort of the accepted legal definition of rum. So it's kind of cheekily just called the distillery Jimmy Rum. So even the beverages that didn't meet the definition of rum had like rum on the label, Jimmy Rum. But now, yes, releasing their first full-fledged aged in Australia rum, they call it Rum, which I think is hilarious. I was thinking of ordering it for delivery, but then I was going, no, I might go out there again with Mrs. Angry, actually. Go out and visit the distillery again. Justin, I believe they are putting serious thought into running independents at the state election. And if they do, I am quite sure the Victorian Liberal Party will shit themselves because they're fucking precarious as it is. Conservative independents running will fucking sink them. What seats they don't lose to Labor, they'll lose to the independents. So I'll drink to that. Oh, that's good. Yes, Justin Brighton almost went to Labor last time. So, in fact, I think if they ran Teal independents there, I think the contest in Brighton would be between Labor and the Teal independent, not between Labor and Liberal. I think a Teal independent there will absolutely wipe out the Liberal vote. So I think the Liberal candidate, even though they're the sitting member, I think they'll be the also ran, and it'll be a contest between a Teal independent and Labor. And yes, Kirsten, something. Well, I don't think, or I'm confident in saying, the Victorian Liberals won't be shut out to the degree they were in WA. It would be wonderful and refreshing if the Andrews government did actually make a little bit more inroads and improve their majority. I mean, I'd be happy with them just retaining government, which I think feels like quite a safe bet, but nothing's for sure in this world. I would love for them to increase their majority because fuck that. And there's the thing, the Teal independents could be a turning point for the Liberal Party in that I feel like they're making it pretty clear the Liberal Party needs to abandon that dive to the far right they were doing, because it's absolutely unrepresentative of the population. And finally, some influential conservatives got sick of it and taught the Federal Liberal Party a friggin' lesson. That is an excellent, excellent fact, Kirsten. More people named Lisa in the WA government than Liberals. Hot damn. And yes, Justin, I am in the state seat of Brighton. We were very disappointed when it didn't flip last time. Okay, this from old-fashioned I made fucking kicks ass. And yes, Megaleech, they may have to form a broader coalition, or, and this is conceivable, after a while, like if the Teal independents continue to make inroads, who knows? Maybe they're a flash in the pan. Maybe they go away. Yes, let's call them the Lint Party. Maybe the Teal independents are a flash in the pan. Maybe they won't have any long-term impact, but maybe they will. And one of the impacts they could have is because they are Liberal Party people who just think the current Federal Party and certainly some of the state parties have gone off to the fringe right and are just fucked and need to be opposed. And they may get concessions from the Liberal Party that said, like, if you rejoin us, we promise to cut down on the just ridiculous fringe shit we've been doing. So they could, in the future, be an informal coalition. They could be a formal coalition. Justin, yeah, you're right. They may form their own party. And it's funny, I think a lot of us are guilty of living in the forever now. We think the situation as it is now is how it has always been. But the Liberal Party was only formed in the 1950s. There was a different Conservative Party before that. And this is same over the world. Okay, the US has had the two major political parties for a long time, the Republican and Democratic parties. But the political parties changed in the 20th century in England as well. So parties change. So yeah, this could be the death knell of the Liberal Party. The Liberal Party might fade into obscurity, and the Teals, whatever, if they make their own party, whatever it's called, they may be the mainstream Conservative Party. That is a absolutely conceivable future. So I don't know that it's the most likely future. I don't know that it's an even money future, but it's a distinctly possible one where the Liberal Party just fades away and the Teals form a new mainstream Conservative Party. But they'd still be stuck with the Nationals because the Liberal Party, not once in their whole history, achieved government in their own right. They were always reliant on the other extremely conservative Country Party. So, yeah, who knows? Who knows? Same as we may end up with a Labour Greens alliance, whether it's a formal coalition or an informal one. anything can happen. So I guess we wait and see what the future brings us, because could be surprises, could be a lot of surprises in the future. Um, and yes, Justin, it is interesting that the Nationals kept all their seats. Um, although there was the suggestion the party was going to rebel against Barnaby Joyce and turf him as leader because they were sick of his fucking bullshit, which would be an interesting thing to do after they were comparatively successful at the election. And yes, here's our old fallback. Don't blame me. I voted for Kodos. Okay, so there you go. That's how. Sorry, Justin. That's how little attention I pay to the ACT. I did not know it was actually a Labor Green coalition there. So there you go. Because Labor, like all politicians, don't want to give up power, and that's why they get so angsty against the Greens. Because although the Greens did win one Liberal seat in Queensland, it's more likely for Greens to win seats from Labor because the voter base is not that far removed from each other. So each time Greens challenge in a Labor seat, they weaken Labor's power, and make Labor really angry. So Labor get really shitty. Oh dear. Mind you, speaking of really shitty, I did see Tim Smith was in the media today, being a fucking moron. Someone, I don't know if he did it for free or they paid him. I was assuming they paid him. But even before the words got out of my mouth, I thought, well, maybe they didn't. Maybe they just agreed to run some shit he wrote, where he's complaining about the Teals, saying they were loud, rich, and entitled or something. And it's just like, you are such a steaming pile of shit, mate. The fucking lack of self-awareness that just radiates from you is fucking mind-boggling. Yeah, you know, it's calling someone else entitled and obnoxious, where he's the one who thought he shouldn't have paid any price for drunk driving and crashing into someone's fence. Fucking gibbering pile of gelatinous fucking excrement. Sorry, I was just going to give a very bad graphic description of what I thought of him. I thought, I don't know, someone might be eating, or they might have a weak constitution, so I won't do that. Oh shit, Strict Sega. That's double barrel shitty. Morrison and 2GB are both shitty. And they're licking his wounds. Yeah, fucking loser. He never should have won the last election. It's a fucking farce he won the last election. Oh, and I'll just say it again. Thank fuck he didn't win this election. Would have been a fucking nightmare. Like I would have given up on hope for a better future at that point. I really would have. Oh yeah, Kirsten, spot on. Teals are mostly women, and in fact, well, I don't know whether David Pocock is actually directly linked to the Teals. I think we're saying we were, but I don't know that for sure. But yes, all the lower house Teals who won seats were all women. Yeah, and it's just like the idea that some privileged shit from the Liberal Party gets to call someone else rich like it's an insult. It's just like, fuck me. It's just, ugh. It's just vile. Oh, that's right, Justin. You had a friend whose job was to be moving out Morrison. Bet that's a great fucking time. God damn. Yeah. Talk about loving your work. For real. All right. You know, that uh, rum old fashioned was so good. That might be my next barrel aged cocktail. A rum old fashioned. Because what's in there? Everything that's there is going to be there for at least another week. So I'm thinking of taking my new make spirit out like this time next week because it's moonshine day on the weekend. So I'll have, that's basically moonshine, unaged new make whiskey spirit. It's basically moonshine. I've been barrel aging. I'd have that for moonshine day. Uh, and then I've got my apple liqueur aging. I've got vodka aging. I was planning on leaving the vodka for longer, but I think I'll at least taste it. Yes, just maybe you will take a dump in Norris and stuff. That'll be good. So he's actually chosen for the job because he's in the Labour Party. Nice. Ah, goddamn. Yeah, see, Kirsten, anyone calling you a difficult woman is an inadequate man, basically. So that's really, really a sign of inadequacy on the part of the person who said it to you. So, fuck him is what I'm saying. Fuck him. Yep, okay. This is super yummy, and I think will form the basis of my next barrel aged cocktail. I think it will be a barrel aged rum old fashioned. Besides falernum, I might put a bit of allspice in it as well, allspice dram, which is really yummy and really flavoursome. I wonder, would it be weird and counterproductive to barrel age a clarified cocktail? Am I just getting very weird at that point? Because the whole thing with clarifying it is like you're purifying it and making it clear. And if I put that back in the barrel, then it would get dark again. Megaleech, it absolutely may have been an inadequate woman. It just strikes me as a term a man would use. Hey, Safa, how you doing? And what are you doing, Mimsy? Coming in here looking for trouble? Trouble? It was takeaway night here tonight. We got Italian from a place called Etto, which is super yummy. Not cheap, but very yummy. And we all decided we were getting a shit ton of stuff and we were going to have leftovers tomorrow. So rather than 3 meals, it was like 6 meals that I got tonight. So I just got so much fucking food. And yeah, we all had enough to have 2 meals. So I'll be having more Italian tomorrow. So here at the supermarket, what's happening? How many people wear masks in the supermarket? I still wear masks in the supermarket. So I'm usually in there a little while, and it's just all the recirculated air. I'm just like, I'm gonna wear a mask. Mm. Okay, yep. Every sip I have of this rum old fashioned is making me like it more. So I definitely think I'll do a barrel aged rum old fashioned. Man, I'm going to end up with so many pre-made drinks. Oh gosh, because an inadequate man didn't understand the assignment. Gosh. Oh, that's winning, Mega Leech. Got what would normally be $20 mini dessert selection for $1. The last thing I bought a lot of was these little bags of limes that would normally be $5 or $6, and they're $1.80. So I like juiced a fuck ton of limes today, which is partly what I made super juice with some of them. So Kirsten, you feel more comfortable wearing mask in the supermarket? Yeah, I'm pretty much on board with mask in the supermarket. Oh wow, Mega Leech, that sounds freaking awesome. Passion fruit and raspberry cheesecakes, Belgian chocolate brownies, lemon tarts, 95% off. Hot damn! Must have been on the last day. So you've just got to eat a lot of desserts now. But seriously, if you 95% off, if you only eat one or two of them and chuck the rest, you've still come out ahead. I mean, I'd feel compelled to, it's just me, I'd feel compelled to eat them all. So, but that's me. Oh, fuck me, that was good. I'm liking that. Yes, Mega Leech tomorrow's day. I thought so. Yeah, no, Kirsten. Well, I should have kept one because they were, they were the irregular ones that both Coles and Woolworths have now, and they were tiny. They were this big. There was a lot of them in the bag, and like bits of the peel had started to go brown. Like I could have got more. Like I got 4 bags of them, and I made. Where is it? I made this much lime juice with them. I'm going to have that for a while. And I also made, actually, while I'm here, I'm going to do the juice comparison, which I don't know, a bit much. Okay. This is the super juice. And this is the bottled yuzu. I'm going to taste them side by side. I'll just get a spoon. I'm not just pouring it into my mouth. Because I'm sophisticated. I would not do anything that unsophisticated. Yeah, Kirsten, I agree. We should have a dessert party at Mega Leech's place. Right. Now, very expensive yuzu juice from an Asian grocer. Okay, so it's like a very opaque juice. It almost looks like whipped eggs, actually. It is a very tart juice. I'm going to have a little bit of water. Cleanse my palate. All right. Super juice. I haven't tasted this yet. This is my first. I've tasted the yuzu before. My first taste of super juice. Now, visually, it looks incredibly similar to the yuzu. It's very tart. All right. I was never going to drink it straight. Really tart citrus. Yeah, that super juice tastes pretty good though. So I think maybe when young Mr. Angry is back, I will make probably a daiquiri, or 2 daiquiris, or 4 daiquiris, as the case may be. So to be able to taste one with the yuzu straight from the bottle and one with the super juice, and see which one tastes better. My money's on the super juice, but we'll see. We'll see which one tastes better. So, Kirsten, have you gotten on the whole super juice thing? I'm really looking forward to when limes get ridiculously expensive. Like you get to that point where limes cost like $2 each. And if you're making a cocktail that wants lime juice, sometimes that's a whole fucking lime in the cocktail. And you get to the point where you start feeling like the lime juice might be the most expensive component of the cocktails. Probably not, but it just feels that way. Like the booze is probably still more expensive. But yeah, when limes get stupid expensive, that's when I'm really going to get into super juice, I think, because you get one lime and you end up making, about 4 to 6 times the volume, or even sometimes 10 times the volume. And yeah, my first foray, successful. I like it. So I will be doing it. Yeah, I absolutely be doing it when citrus gets stupid expensive. I will be, particularly with limes, making super juice. Because now I did it today. It's not difficult. I was worried that I was worried that it would be difficult to do. I did it today. It wasn't difficult. So, yeah, as Megaleach, it's a fine line between, when you get the stuff that's really marked down because it's going off tomorrow. A couple of times I've got stuff off the shelf like, that looks cool, and they've marked it like right down like 80, 90% off, and grab it, and then it won't scan at the supermarket because it's actually at its use by date. They won't sell it. Like, boo. Oh, Kirsten, that's nice. Live close to the fruit shop, sells limes at the bar. That is very handy. Now I might have a teeny taste of. I'm going to pour a full drink. I just want to have a teeny taste of it. My apple liqueur. My whiskey-based apple liqueur I made. A little bit of squeaky ASMR with a satisfying pop at the end. So this is probably only 25 to 30% alcohol by volume, like most liqueurs. Holy fuck, it's good. It's really good. Oh yeah, I see, Megaleach, the soft cheeses. I won't get the soft cheeses near their use by date. Hard cheese, yes. I've gone through that a couple of times, brie or camembert, and it's just not right. I won't do it. See, that's a good work perk, Kirsten. Occasionally getting spare limes from work because they are occasionally very expensive. Holy shit, Safa, where was fuel that cheap today? Because it was stupid expensive for a while. It started to come down, but it was stupid expensive. Okay, well, I tell you this for free. That apple liqueur is so good. I will definitely be making more. I'm probably going to drink that really quickly. It's probably not going to last very long. Because I don't know that I even want to mix that with anything. It's just freaking great. But I'm barrel aging some of it as well. So we'll see what the barrel aged version's like in a couple of weeks. And that one was based on whiskey. And I don't know, I might make another one based on rum. I don't know. We'll see. Oh God, Kirsten, you're a wild one. Soft cheese right on its use by date is the best. Oof. that's living wild times right there. Used to work at a cheese factory. Stuff having Belgian dark chocolate cake. Well, some people love it. I did have an ice cream. I'll admit, I had an ice cream as well, which I probably shouldn't have because I had a really decadent dinner. But I was just like, fuck it, I'm having an ice cream as well. To be fair, the whole thing with cheese and mature and even moldy is there's an acquired taste thing. There are some blue cheeses you get in Europe that I think are fucking rank, but aficionados really like how gross and stinky they are. And it's a little bit much for me, quite honestly. I like a lot of blue cheeses, a lot of very mature cheeses, but some of them just taken it a bit far, in my opinion. Oh, Safa. Next town over, new fuel station, so is the price war. Neat. Yep, okay. That apple liqueur might be my new favorite thing. Oh, now I've got all these things to consider because I made that with a white caster sugar. Here's the fun tip, kids. If you want a fruity sugar syrup, whatever fruit, you cover it in sugar. If it's a citrus, you peel it and you cover the peel in sugar, and the sugar will leach all the oils out of the peel and make this beautiful syrup known as oleosaccharum. And that's a freaking excellent syrup. But with other fruits, like things like apple, etc., you slice up the fruit itself and cover it with sugar, and it leaches the juice out of the fruit, makes a great syrup. Bananas are really good with the peel, actually. You can use the banana itself. Same deal. If you slice up a banana and cover it with sugar, the sugar will leach the moisture out of the banana and you get a banana syrup. But even just the banana peel, because you know how there's normally a lot of fluffy pith on the banana peel, you cover that with sugar and you get a really nice banana syrup. So that's how you get fruit syrups. You just fruit or the peel and just cover it in sugar and you get a fruit flavored syrup, which is yummy. And so for Penny Wong's pretty good. Penny Wong is probably, my God, the fridge is singing the song of its people really loudly all of a sudden. Penny Wong is probably my favorite politician in Australia. That's a low bar. That is a low bar of being the least shit politician in Australia. Sorry, Kirsten, what are you going to miss? I think I missed something you were saying. Safa, yeah, it's impossible to predict the future, but I, for one, would be extremely firkin surprised if the LNP won the next federal election. That seems impossible, but fuck, who knows? And no, I did not watch Penny Wong's speech. I sort of saw second-hand accounts of it, and even though it was only headlines, I didn't read any detailed thing of it. I know it was a fairly well-received speech to our Pacific neighbours. So yes, I think I've already seen Tim Smith one. Tim Smith being a fucking steaming pile. That's right, we were talking about that before you joined the stream. Tim Smith being a steaming pile of shit. He sucks so fucking much. God, he's an evil, the gross little gremlin. He just fucking sucks, that guy. Oh, okay. bringing up some water because I'm responsible. Because that's me. I'm a responsible motherfucker. Ooh, Dr. Abigail, are you getting lots of lag? That's a big question. Who's getting lots of lag? That happens sometimes. The internet is a weird and strange place. I'm lagging. There you go. Yeah, so sometimes the gap between you typing a comment and me seeing it, and then you seeing my response to that. Oh, we're getting lots of lags. Well, that sucks. Ah, the Craft & Co. gin markets. I did see one of them advertised recently, actually. Yeah, I don't know when the next one is. I have some Craft & Co. gin there, actually. They're right near where Abigail lives. Don't tell me what I should do myself. Don't fucking tell me what I should do. Is the trouble? Okay, there seems to be a problem with possibly my internet. Because if everyone's experiencing it, then the problem's probably... Oh, wow, that was fucking weird. Just going to do a quick test. Yeah. Okay, so my download looks fine. Does that either mean my upload's fucked or it was and it's just being sketchy and intermittent and now is fine? The ups kind of shit, but not terrible. Okay, so maybe it was a temporary glitch, but from these numbers I'm seeing, it shouldn't be a problem. You may go 20 seconds behind. Oh, you've caught up now. Okay. Yeah, still the kids to get off the internet. Yes, and there are several people on the internet at the same time as me. Should be fine. Should be fine. Maybe have intermittent outages, that type of thing. Hopefully, we will be fine. All right. So are there any good news headlines? No. Awful stories, not talking about that. Yes, okay. Penny Wong. More stuff about China and the Pacific. Okay, what's this horseshit? Peter Dutton has a rare condition. Is it fuckwittery? Because that's not weird. Oh my god. They're saying senior MP Plubisek launched a bizarre attack like Nidaria. That is not a bizarre attack. It's making a fucking joke, and fucking Dutton fucking looks like fucking Voldemort. He also looks like a fucking potato. Piece of fucking shit. And the concept of anyone in the Liberal Party, anyone saying, oh, that was the mean thing to say. Fuck you all. Fuck you all. I'm assuming Dr. Abigail's making a joke. Libs use their back towards the NBN, slow down everyone's internet where they lost. Safa, I rarely drink whiskey straight. Usually the only time I drink whiskey straight is when I'm doing a taste comparison. In fact, there is one I wanted to do. There's one I wanted to do. I think you did that. I'm sure that was a joke, Dr. Abigail. I think you did it too deadpan and everyone thinks you're serious. Well, look, I've just got the right number of plastic shot glasses here. I'm going to do a rye off. I have some rye whiskies. All right. I've got 4 different rye whiskies, 3 of them are Australian. I'm going to do little sips of this. So just, Safi, you put this idea in my head. One of the few times I just drink whiskey straight is when I'm doing a tasting flight. You see, Dr. Abigail, it feels believable. It feels believable. But yeah, Safa, no one here likes the Nationals. They wouldn't stay around me very long if they liked the Nationals. All right, rye whiskies. 4 very different rye whiskies. What's this? Not that one. Not that one. All these bloody Archie Rose runs. Whiskey got a rye. Okay. The Gospel. And the American one. God, I should put some stuff back, actually. I've got a few things out here. This goes there. I'll put these rums back. That goes there. Oh, this was there. Wait, I thought I had another rye. What was I thinking? Was I off in La La Land? That's Tim Boone. Scotch. Solera. Tawny. Gin should be down there. Texas single malt. Starwood. Rum. Alex, why did I think I had 4 ryes? I'm going to, okay, no, okay, I'm not going to do this now because I'm going to have 4 ryes. I don't have them all yet. I left my work monitor on because I was using it for a script for the video I was shooting. And I was also running late at the start of the stream. Shit, eh? I was running late at the start of the stream, so I didn't really get it together to switch it off. So, whew. So I was all geared up then. I was going to do a rye whiskey tasting and then remembered that's why I'm not doing it tonight, because I'm expecting a 4th one to be delivered. I'll do a taste off when I've got my 4th rye whiskey. Oh, and also, it's maybe of more interest to Kirsten than anyone, but I did 2 things I'd noticed recently on booze websites I go to a lot. The Punch Drink website had a feature article or feature post on Australian rye whiskies, and most prominently mentioned the Gospel in Melbourne, Archie Rose in Sydney, and Beechworth in Tasmania. And I also noted Archie Rose seemed to have done a sponsorship deal with the Difford's Guide website, because I was looking at recipes, and they have some where they do sponsorship deals where rather than just generically saying gin or whiskey, if they've got a sponsorship deal with someone, they'll nominate a specific spirit and there'll be a link to purchase it. And I had seen for a while 4 pillars seem to have a deal with them, because on a lot of gin recipes, it was specifically nominated 4 pillars rare dry gin. But for the first time today, I was looking at some recipes when the recipe had white rum in it, it actually specified Archie Rose white cane spirit. So that seems new. So yeah. But yeah, there's 3 main, they're not the only ones, but there are 3 main booze websites I get ideas, recipes and read stories on. And that's the Difford's Guide, liquor.com, and Punch Drink. And I think both liquor.com and Difford's Guide have an Australian version of their site. They have some people in Australia who write content for people who access the site from Australia. I don't think Punch Drink does. I think Punch Drink is just the same content around the world. Yeah, Kirsten, I'll see if I can find it. Like the thing I was saying about Difford's, I think that was I think when, well, maybe the deal's just with Dan Murphy's, because the buying guides on Difford's Guide all point to a Dan Murphy's link. Yeah, okay. I literally just, this is going to be one of the most popular links on the site to a daiquiri, their default daiquiri recipe on the Difford's Guide site. Says use Archie Rose white cane spirit. What have I done? So yeah, that's a little bit of trivia. Oh right, so the Australian Rye article was written by your friend Fred. Nice. Oh, you missed the opportunity to sponsor the Difford's Guide gal on TikTok. The Australian Difford's Guide content seems pretty good, actually. So yeah, I don't know if that's like an official sponsorship deal with Difford's, or Difford's have just decided they like Archie Rose white cane spirit. But the fact that it's for Australian visitors, it's the default recommendation for making daiquiris. Gotta like that, because that's going to be one of their most popular recipes on the site. Alrighty. All right, well, my first use of my coconut syrup, winner, definitely inspired me to make a barrel-aged rum old-fashioned. You just have to toy with what is going to be in the rum old-fashioned. I think that the remainder of that overproof rum for a start, and because I have a second bottle of the Diplomatico because it was on super big special. I see something. You missed out on a bunch of stuff I already talked about. This takeaway dinner in Italian from a place called Etto, which was yummy, and we all decided we're getting a shit ton of it. We're getting two meals worth. So I'll be having more, along with the rest of my household, be having more Italian tomorrow. Got enough for at least 2 meals. So, in fact, fuck. Now I've got this idea in my head. I might, because I got this pasta, a mushroom pasta, that I ate half of tonight, and I was going to do half of it tomorrow for lunch. I might caramelize some onion and cook up some mushroom with it, and then add that to the pasta I've already got. That'd be fucking yummy. Yeah, I might do that. I haven't talked about watching, though, and Mrs. Angry and I were watching some new stuff. Oh, Kirsten, that's exactly what I had tonight. Eto's truffle mac and cheese. That's exactly what I had tonight. I fucking love that stuff. I had a pizza too. Well, I had half a pizza and half a pasta. So I've got half a pizza and half a pasta to have tomorrow. But yes, the truffle mac and cheese. Fuck, I love that. But yes, TV. Okay, anyone who's interested in my views on TV, we watched some new things last night. We watched the first episode of a British series called This Is Going to Hurt, which is based off the memoir of a doctor working, like a junior doctor working in the National Health Service in the UK. Fucking intense. Like, they're trying to mix some comedy in with it, but it's just fucking intense. It's like, holy shit, if every episode's going to be that intense, I don't know if I'll make it through. So we watched one episode of that. It was very good, but very intense. And then we started watching, oh God, now I've just made my brain stop working. Series on Prime. God damn it. What's it called? Open Sky? God, that's bugging the shit out of me that I just fucking forgot. Oh, geez, that looks like fun. Oh, documentaries. Okay, I don't look at that one. Paramount Plus. Open Range. That's what. Okay, and I just remembered it. I didn't see it. I remembered it. So my brain has not totally failed. More like 75%. Apparently, there's a documentary channel which I'm pretty sure I don't pay for, and I'm not going to, called Doc Play, and they had one about Trump called Unfit. That about sums up. Oh, and so yeah, we watched 3 episodes of Open Range, because that's interesting. It starts like a family drama, set on a independent cattle ranch, and then it brings in all this X-Files shit. So that's very interesting. We watched 3 episodes of that, so we're into that. We'll probably watch some more of This Is Going to Hurt, but I swear to God, it was fucking intense viewing. Really, really intense viewing, and not easy to watch, basically. And I also, because I watched some stuff that I know Mrs. Angry is just not going to be interested in, I watched the first episode of a show called The Offer, which is inspired by the experiences of the guy who produced the movie The Godfather. And I enjoyed the first episode of that. So I'll probably watch a bit more of that this weekend. So Dr. Abigail, there's a huge lag, and you put outer range. I don't even remember if I said that right. It's good though. I said open range, didn't I? That's a Kevin Costner film, I think. If I remember rightly, has a really good line where he's talking to his wife, or at least his romantic interest in the movie, and is about to have a confrontation. Him and his sidekicks are going to have a confrontation with bad guys. He's explaining it. He's doing it in his laconic cowboy way. He goes, "It's going to be bad. People are going to die. I plan on killing them." Yeah, you go, cowboy. Oh, yes, Arthur, from what I've heard, if you're doing the stream from your TV, that is an additional lag as opposed to watching from a computer attached to internet. But yes, it's just a thing that we deal with, we struggle with, lag on the internet. One man's journey to the center of the bowling ball. Mo Pennell spent a career reshaping the balls in a core to harness the power of physics. Okay, is there anything else interesting on the news? The Liberal Party should forego entitled Kooyong voters, says their own state Liberal MP. Jesus Christ, he's such a fucking steaming pile of shit. He's just like a vile, repugnant excuse of a human. So fucked. Jesus Christ, the media stories about Bitcoin are fascinating. You know, you'll see one article that says it's going to collapse completely and be worthless, and someone else saying in 10 years a single Bitcoin will be worth $1 million. Wowzers. It's just ridiculous. Oh, sorry. I was on the wrong tab. I didn't know what was happening there. There we go. Safa, to the best of my knowledge, Tim Smith is not contesting his state seat because he was turfed by the Liberal Party. He spent a week or so in delusion that he didn't have to resign, but yeah. So yes, I mean, crypto generally is horseshit. Doesn't mean you can't make money from it, but it's definitely a fucking scam. Man charged after allegedly smashing Uber vehicle with hammer. Wow, cool. Ooh, an ancient cypress in Chile may be the world's oldest tree. Interesting. I don't really mean anything, but it was interesting. Ugh. Oh yes, we're going to get power bills are going to increase because we're being fucked over by the government privatizing power. I'm thinking about how rich Gina Reinhardt is. I was laughing at that concept you get when people say, you'll get more conservative as you get older. It's like, well, Angry, you're older. Did you get more conservative? I don't know. I think every member of the billionaire class should be in prison until everyone involved in the supply chain that creates their wealth has a decent living. Forget not being in poverty, forget not being endangered, forget not being starving to death. Every single person in the supply chain that generates wealth for capitalists should be living a good life, or the people stealing their labor should be in fucking prison. And I'm not saying that as a joke. I'm not saying that as hyperbole. I'm not saying that as a metaphor. I'm saying that should literally be the case. If someone is engaged in conduct that fucks people over for their own personal gain, that person should be in fucking prison until everyone in that supply chain creating the wealth is leading a decent life. Oh, and also, again, the fucking capitalists should. I was thinking about it. The number of people who suffer and die in the service of capitalism. If the billionaires, if the people at the top, if they got a jail sentence of 1 day for every person who dies as a result of their business operations, that would be a life sentence. You take it into account the thousands of people who die on the job, and then the thousands more who are killed by pollution created by evil fucking people who care nothing but for profits. Yeah, I'm quite convinced that if the billionaire class got a 1 day prison sentence for every person who died in the generation of their wealth, they'd be in prison for life. The system is that fucked. There is certainly quite a lot of truth in that, Dr. Abigail. Proportionally, older people tend towards conservatism is poorer people die earlier, and the rich conservatives live longer. That's true. Yes, Safa, like the food delivery people who are killed. But slight disclaimer, a significant number of those food delivery people ride and drive like absolute fuckwits. Like I've almost hit a dozen of them because they've done something phenomenally fucking stupid. Now, and a big element of that is the pressures they're put under to deliver quickly because it's so hard to make up. Again, that whole food delivery thing is a literal criminal scam. The fact that these companies are getting away with outright criminal behavior is abominable. But yeah, those Uber, not just Uber Eats, but Uber, the ride sharing thing, is a criminal fucking scam, basically. So, and the truth will come out in the coming years. Let's just hope they haven't destroyed our options in the meantime, because they are fucking soulless. And they are dangerous to the well-being of human beings and human society. It is abso-fucking-lutely ridiculous. So, deep sigh, we live in a shitty world. It's a really shitty world where shitty things happen. And I'm going to have a little bit more water. I want to keep drinking water all the way up to bedtime, because then I'll have to pee in the middle of the night. So we'll just have a little bit. It's going to hydrate. Just going to hydrate. I'll be fine. A little bit of hydration. But I tell you what, though, I'm really going to try clarifying some Angostura. The recipe I saw was half whiskey and clarified Angostura. Now, half whiskey, half Angostura sounds really full on, like it would be very hard to drink. But this was half whiskey and half clarified Angostura, which was going to take all the savage bitterness out of the Angostura. I really want to try that. I'm really intrigued by that. Also, it's selling because this is a big fucking bottle of Angostura. I've forgotten how much that costs because I bought that ages ago. Going to Angostura bitters. How much is it sold for? 200 mils costs $19. That's on special. So that's actually okay. In terms of alcohol content, that's actually quite expensive. How much is the bigger bottle? 200 mils. 473 mils is $44. I still think it's worth doing. Still think it's worth doing. Some clarified Angostura. It's definitely an experiment I want to do. Safra, if I had complete control over capitalism, like I said, you would not be able, it would be illegal to generate wealth through exploitation. If you're there making shit tons of money, would check that everyone involved in the supply chain was able to lead a different life, decent life. If your capitalist was gaming the system and fucking people over, I'd put them in prison. Simple as that. And I don't know that joke. We used to have ScoMo, now we have Pedu. I don't get it. Oh, right. Sorry, that's Dutton. Right. As much as he wants to be a whining little bitch about being called Voldemort, he's going to get called Voldemort because he fucking looks like Voldemort. Also, I refuse to, I don't know if anyone's noticed, that's not, I'd never use the ScoMo, or even very rarely call him ScoMo, and I don't call Albanese Albo, because fuck politicians giving themselves cutesy nicknames and trying to get us to refer to them by cutesy nicknames. They're not fucking cutesy. And yes, I do not limit that to the Conservative. But I mean, okay, Morrison is particularly contemptible. Yes, I'm not going to indulge in a cutesy nickname for Albanese either, because I am going to be I'm going to end up being very critical of probably a whole spectrum of things Albanese does, because there's some really shitty policy within the Labor Party. Not as shitty as the Liberal Party, but that's like saying Oh, I slammed my hand in the car door yesterday. At least that's not as bad as all the years I spent slamming my dick in a car door. It's still bad. So if you want, yeah, Albanese say, I move the member, no longer be heard. Yeah, Morrison and the Liberal Party absolutely fucked parliamentary process, and they deserve to get it back, quite honestly. Kirsten thinks we should go with P. Dut. just fuck that guy. The racist potato. It's just, he's, again, just already seeing conservative media wanting to try and portray the fucking monster that is Peter Dutton in a sympathetic light. It's like, fuck that. I hate that so fucking much because he's a fucking abomination. And you can be lighthearted and say he looks like Voldemort. I don't give a shit what he looks like. None of my criticisms of Dutton revolve around what he looks like. My criticisms of Dutton revolve around what a fucking abomination of an excuse for a human he is. It's just the fucking worst. And I would fucking, Jesus, I would love for there to be a serious judicial inquiry into Dutton's exit from the Queensland police force and how much money he seems to have now. I just like a really close scrutiny of that. And I just wonder, if Dutton would survive a close legal scrutiny of his transition from Queensland cop to politician. I'm just not sure that he'd come off squeaky clean. And if he is sure he'd come off squeaky clean, he shouldn't have any problem with a legal investigation into his life. Man, I tell you what, this coconut syrup straight out of the squeezy tube, it's very dark. It's very thick. Oh, it's tripping well. Be like that science experiment with the pitch in the science lab, where the pitch, which is theoretically liquid, dripping down, and it takes decades for a single drop to go down. This wouldn't take decades, but it's very thick. Man, what does that remind me of? Not golden syrup. And it's like molasses. Kind of looks like barbecue. This, speaking of barbecue sauce, this would probably be very good in a marinade, something that you then grilled. Just like instead of a maple glaze, a coconut glaze. Ooh, a pork chop glazed with that, maybe some herbs and spices, and then grilled. God damn, I'm not making myself hungry because I'm not hungry because I ate a fuck ton of this Italian takeaway tonight. But in the abstract, now I'm thinking of using that as a glaze or a marinade. I think, fuck man, I've got some stuff in the freezer, I should say. I'm going to thaw out some shit that I've got in the freezer, and I'm going to use that in a marinade and then fucking grill it. Or maybe even pan fry it. Be fucking awesome. Yeah, okay. That idea's in my head now. I'm definitely doing that. Got to thaw out some shit I got in the freezer. Gonna make myself some tasty food. Safa, yes. Watching MasterChef when hungry, bad idea. Very bad idea. I still love the joke. I forget where I saw it first, but I do also agree it would be very funny in one of those cooking shows if the judges were just ordinary schmoes like me, and you'd get people losing and being kicked off for really arbitrary reasons. Like they get this really elaborate thing and go, ew, no, mushrooms. Mushrooms are gross. You're out. And it's just people like me not appreciating the finer things in the cuisine. What's my arm itchy? Because okay, can I raise this sleeve up high enough? Fucking hell, it's really up there. Ugh, God, that is. I love mushrooms too, Sava. But there's other stuff I don't like. Ugh, look, there's a. Where is it? And I'm trying to show it off. Yellow band-aid. Should take it off, actually. It's been there for 2 days. I got my flu vaccination the other day, Wednesday. Ooh, little bit of blood on it. Cute yellow band-aid, though. I'm very relieved to get my flu vaccination, actually. Holy shit, Strictly Sega. Serving Tuscan meatballs, rice, and veggies. That sounds good. No, Safa, my work paid for my flu vaccination. I held off getting the flu jab until the work voucher system was live. And then I'm like, yeehaw, free flu vax. Because I really wanted to get it because there just seems to be an absurd amount of flu cases around. The thing is, I think so far New South Wales and Queensland have put together a program for free flu vaccinations. And I think Victoria must follow because it's looking like a nightmare flu season. So if you got yours late April, I got mine Wednesday, which is a bit later than I would have liked it. I would have liked to have gotten it early May at the latest, but one thing and another. But I've got it now, and I think we're getting to max effectiveness, 48 hours later. So I am quite relieved to have gotten the flu vaccination. Oh no, Kirsten, you're home sick. No, never like hearing that. That's not good at all. I mean, I was even relieved when I had COVID. I never got real sick. I mean, because I did live streams every night. They weren't particularly long or engaging, I don't think, because I was tired a lot of the time. But it never got worse than a mild cold. Like I had some congestion. For a day or so, I had a mild fever. Would have headaches a bit, and I was tired. I was very tired. Oh gosh, Kirsten, you had a COVID test and you had a coughing fit. They referred you for testing for flu. Yeah, you want to look after yourself and take care. A lot of flu about, a lot of COVID about. So yes, I would, prefer to not get COVID again. With the amount of fucking variants out there, it's a solid possibility though. But I'm also hoping with the flu vaccination, that sent my little antibodies into overdrive, or my body into overdrive creating antibodies. And that will help me fight things off. Nothing's 100%, but yeah. Yes, I just don't want to get sick, really. Again, such an awesome side effect. And seriously, there were not many great side effects of COVID and the pandemic and the lockdowns, etc. But not getting sick, like not getting a cold for 2 years, fucking awesome. And for me, and I know this has repercussions for other people and it's not great for them, whatever, but working from home fucking rocks. 2.5 years of working from home, I fucking love it. It's so good. Yeah, it's great. So, yes, but I acknowledge all the various hardships the pandemic has caused for other people, including people getting very sick and dying. Yes, notwithstanding those benefits to myself, if I could avert the pandemic from ever happening, I would, because it hurt far too many people. It was fucked. I'm just trying to, take some positive from it. Safa, how much money have I saved on fuel? None. I don't drive into the office. I use public transport. How much money have I saved on public transport? Let's see, 25, 250. I don't know. I've saved thousands of dollars at public transport costs not going into the office. Oh gosh, Kirsten, you had the flu 2014, sick for months, which sucks. I worked with someone who got flu, turned into pneumonia, and she was, fuck me, she was knocked around for months. So you've had a cold this month, plus whatever this is, dang. Well, just sending out as much positivity as I can, Kirsten, in the hope that you get no complications and you get better. Because it friggin' sucks. The last, I had a stomach flu a couple of years ago, and I think it was a version of the swine flu that was going around. I got it from fucking VidCon. And that was acute. That was 48 hours of acute illness, and that was like the shooting out both ends, basically, thinking I was going to die, and then lying around for a day feeling like she's going, why didn't I die? And then about a week of feeling really weak. But yeah, Jesus, the acute stage was fucking shit. It was so bad. Kirsten, I'm also praying you don't end up with bronchitis. That would suck. Yeah. So yes, my last influenza was a stomach flu rather than a lung and coughing one. But fuck me, the acute stage of it was really bad. Yes, I found out later there was a version of swine flu going around, which some fucker at VidCon gave to me. And geez, it came on quick. And then I'm giving you the truncated version while hinting at the grossness of it, but Jesus Christ. It was just, ugh. The acute stage, for concern. And I know some people get acute illnesses where bad shit like that drags on for a very long time. And then there's chronic illness, which sucks in a whole different way. Talk to AIDSy, he'll tell you. Anyway, so that brings us to 10 hours of the clock. What a jolly old time tonight. Even though I get to take it kind of easy at work tomorrow, I'm not going to do anything excessive, and I'm going to go to bed now. Maybe we'll have a party out tomorrow night. We'll see how I am. Unless something super weird happens, definitely have a stream tomorrow night. We'll see how long we party for. I do plan to have a few fucking drinks. I'll tell you that for free. Finish the night with a cherry. Yeah. You'll take care. God damn, I love those Luxardo cherries. Yummy. All right. You'll take care. See you tomorrow night if you're around for however long we last tomorrow night. We'll take it as it comes. But you take